Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the October 1 edition of Aaron's Hour. 5 years ago today, today's date, tragedy struck Las Vegas, and hope you indulge me in watching this video as we think and honor those who lost their lives on that day 5 years ago. Welcome inside the studios of Go Live Vegas here in the heart of Las Vegas, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for indulging me as the 1 October event. It's hard to believe it's 5 years already. You know, time flies for a lot of different reasons. And I did a show on the 1 year anniversary when I had my show. It was the first incarnation of Aaron's Hour. Hey, Krista. And I had some people, I did a 2 hour special. I had some people that were there. In the first hour, we talked about everything leading up to 1 October, what they were doing, the concert, how much fun they were having. And then the second hour, we talked about post 1 October, when the shots started ringing out, where they were at, what they were doing, their experiences. And if I would have ended my career on the radio right after that show, that would have been okay, because it was a heck of a show to honor those here in Las Vegas. And anybody, everywhere. That was an event that brought people from all over the country to participate, and probably all over the world. At the time, 58 individuals lost their lives, and I believe the number's actually gone up to 60 since. The Vegas Golden Knights played a very, very important role in getting our community back together and healing. The hockey season started right there. They hung a jersey, number 58, up in the rafters to honor those at the time, a banner with all the names of those lives lost. So there are a lot of events going on around town today to honor. Hey, Jennifer from Hawaii. Oh, you're on YouTube watching today on that show. I see that out there. So if you're out and about today, just know that there are, hey, Patrick, you are very welcome, my friend. I appreciate your support in sharing 1 October. If you're in and around town, there are things, the Clark County Museum is going to reopen its 1 October Remembrance exhibit. They opened it yesterday. We'll be running through January 30th. So that is open. They're going to be showing some letters, posters, and maybe a couple of the white crosses that were placed near the shooting. For those who remember, shortly after the incident, one individual, I want to say from Colorado, if memory serves, came out to Vegas out at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. And he put those crosses in with everybody's names that lives were lost. Those crosses are still being held in storage, and it looks like the museum was actually going to be displaying some of those again. So that display is going to be available till January 30th. There's a music festival taking place at the Clark County Government Center Amphitheater. The Country Strong Project and Stoney's Rock and Country are hosting the Remember Music Festival. Doors open at 1 p.m. today, so in about an hour, and concerts are set to begin at 2 p.m. Megan Patrick, Dylan Schneider, and Walker Montgomery are among the singers. Tickets are $85, and the proceeds will go toward creating the permanent 1 October memorial. And of course, this part's already happened. Of course, our Governor Carolyn Goodman tonight, I apologize. At 10:05 p.m., she'll be reading the names of those who died as a result of the tragic shooting. The moment will descend on the crowd at the Las Vegas Community Healing Garden is where she's going to be doing that. The city of Las Vegas has plans to stream the reading on its social media channels. So if you're out and about today and you're thinking about 1 October but are unable to do any of this stuff, I encourage you that at 10:05 tonight, just take 30 seconds. Just take a moment of silence. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for your friends and family, and think of those who lost a lot that day 5 years ago. So 30 seconds of peace in your mind. will go a long way. Okay. But thank you for indulging me, ladies and gentlemen. It's an event where I'm going to actually talk to my guest about, when the space shuttle blew up, I remember where I was. Certain things happen in life. You know where you were when certain things happen. Those from yesteryear know where they were when they got the news about JFK being assassinated, Martin Luther King, where he was assassinated, landing on the moon, things like that. And unfortunately for those of us here, thank you, Jennifer. Those of us here in Vegas certainly know where we all were. I remember waking up the next morning. My phone and my wife's phone was blowing up at 6 a.m. when we woke up wondering if we were okay. And we're like, what the hell was going on here? And that's how we found out about the tragedy that night. The interview that I did on that other station 5 years ago, I had some folks, bartenders, who were there. One of them is a dear friend of mine. And when everything happened, her and her husband were separated for about like 4 hours. And they couldn't get in touch with each other. Doc Phineas, a personality and entertainer, you might recognize the name from Pawn Stars. He's one of their experts. He was due to go to the event, and his plane from Utah, it was a private plane, landed 10 minutes late. And as he stepped off the airplane, because the private airport's literally right across the street from where theirs took place, he was in the military. He heard the bullets. He knew what was happening. And that 10-minute delay for him was a change in his life, because he was able to save his own life by not having to be there. So again, 10:05 tonight, 58 lives were lost that night, and the 2 that have died since, we want to thank everybody for that, about them later on today. Okay, with that, welcome to the show today, folks. It is the first show of the last quarter of 2022. Can you believe it? 2022 is 3/4 of the way done. So how are you going to make the rest of your year better? Well, I know it's better because you're here with me watching my show. And if you can't watch, download, I can't talk today. Download the Go Live Vegas mobile app to your phone. Download it so you can hear us on the go. If you like 80s music, when there is not a show on the air, best of the 80s, commercials, all the things that you remember so fondly from the 80s is on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. You can watch us on here, obviously on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, Instagram. If you missed the show, which I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you do, just on the happenstance that you do, go back to the YouTube channel, Aaron's Hour. You can go back to the Facebook page, click on the videos tab. But for all you Roku junkies, download the Go Live Vegas channel, and you can watch Aaron's Hour and all the shows here at Go Live Vegas right there on the Roku channel, which is pretty cool. So you have multiple ways to stay in touch and stay informed with what's going on. You betcha. Giggly, giggly. How does he do that? Matt does it pretty well. I know. Matt does it pretty well. Matt from Thoughts Count Anywhere. He does it really well. As an incentive, by the way, to download the Go Live Vegas Go Live Vegas channel Roku, a couple of weeks ago, I know, I can't talk. You know what it is? In 6 hours. 6 hours? Yeah, 6 hours. I'm going to be over at the Las Vegas Museum of Natural History. They have their annual big gala, and it's called the Dinosaur Ball. So my mind is already shifting because I'm getting emails from the directors and things that, of course, need to be updated and changed. And so my piece of my mind is over there, and I'm trying to pull it back because we have a great guest today.
I think you are a special person.
That just blew my headset up, by the way. It just blew my ears out. I can't hear anything now because my ears now are now blown. Sheesh. So my guest today, I got to tell you this funny story. You guys know I work out, CrossFit, yada, yada, yada. But every once in a while I go to I Love Kickboxing just to kind of mix it up. And this individual and I, we were in this, I think it was the 8:30 class, or it was the morning class, right? And there was only like 4 of us. And the room is made, if you've never been in these rooms, they have areas set up for maybe 30 people. Well, I'd like to be in the back of the class. Exactly. I'm in the back corner because the instructor's all the way up front. And my guest today, she was in the row in front of me, but like on this end, kind of wanting to do the same thing I was doing, hiding, because it was her first day back to working out since the pandemic. And so she heard me, as we were warming up, she heard me in the corner making my snide little snarky comments to the coach about why you killing us this early. I swear, when we agreed to this, why do warm-ups harder than the freaking workout themselves? So she heard my comments, and then the ending workout where they supposedly say it's the cool down, bullshit. When you're doing like 3 minutes of Superman holds and hollow body, and I'm back in the corner just moaning because of the surgery area that I had. No tuxedo tonight, Jennifer, but I do have a special jacket, black with some bling on it, and I know there'll be plenty of pictures, and I'll send one to you. So she hears my comments. We get up, and I'm dragging. She's dragging. Like, all we want to do is just make it to our car in one piece and get home. And we started talking. What do you do? What do I do? Hope you've been working on your dinosaur. No. Oh, so here's why I brought up the dinosaur. See, this is why my show is like a cat with red lights. So if you go to the Go Live Vegas page on Roku and you click on my show, I had one of the co-directors of the museum on the show to talk about the event tonight, because this is our annual fundraiser. And so I don't know why or how I said it, but I got into, he's going to bring it up now. I could see he's playing with his, I could see the producer's monitor from here, and I know he's looking for the picture. So we were talking about dinosaurs. I don't remember what dinosaur I was at, and I just kind of did like the dinosaur pose. I think like the pterodactyl. That's the one that flies, right? The pterodactyl. And I think I kind of had I don't want to redo it because he's going to take a snapshot of me doing it again. See, if you show it, then it gives nobody a reason to go to the Go Live Vegas channel on Roku. See, I just took him away. See how I did that? I took him out of there. Was that good? Kick, save, and a beauty. So he caught me in like a pose of the pterodactyl, and that's the screenshot for that show on the Go Live Vegas channel on Roku. So if you want to check it out, go download it. Costs nothing if you already have it. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, my guest. So we started talking. And it's like, what do you do? What do you do? And you know me, folks. I'm 17 years, like next week, I'm behind the microphone in this town. Jennifer, thank you very much. And I'll just talk to people. And we started a conversation after we stopped commiserating about how we were dead after the workout. Tells me she's an author and what I do. And of course, if you remember, I had an author on a couple of weeks ago, my friend Lauren Tallman. She writes erotica. And my guest today, we're just going to call him Miss Murder. So I think it's apropos. All things darling. Now, that's a contradiction to Miss Murder, but it's okay. Mercedes M. Yardley joins me, and she writes horror. You know, that just scared me, hearing that in my headset. That's not what I expected. I don't know what I expected.
I see dead people.
Yes. See, now that's true. My buddy Ricky may make an appearance in the studio sometime today from beyond, like he always does. Anyway, so we got to talk, and she writes, she's got what, you have 3 books out? 4 books? 5 books. Sorry, I underestimated the number of books. Don't kill me. 5 books. I was just intrigued. We got Halloween coming up. I thought it would be a fun topic. So her bio and everything is on the promo. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about her books, where you can get them. I know you can get them on Amazon and hard copies and all the other fun stuff. So this will be fun. And when we were talking, when she's out in public talking about her books, she has a trademark look. Okay? And I'm going to listen. This is just between you and me, folks. She did not look like this when we did boxing. So it's a whole different persona, okay? One of the things, though, you did talk about somewhere, you have it in your bio. So she's a dark fantasist. I didn't know that's a word, but I guess it is, who wears red lipstick and poisonous flowers in her hair, okay? So that means during the break, I'm going to be moving my seat a little further away from my guest. Thank you. You know, I'm a Batman fan. You watched Batman growing up as a kid? You remember that show, right? Louis the Lilac was played by the great Milton Berle. And he was a florist. And he always had a boutonniere on. So when I read this in your bio, this is what I was thinking. Because Louis used to send acid out of his flower. And I thought about that as I was reading your bio. Anyway, she writes in a lush, lyrical style about current social issues and finding love and beauty in all the darkness. So that'll be interesting. All right, couple of news and notes before we get started. I'm running way behind. That sounds like Darth Vader for a moment there. The beginning was... Anyway, we might have to change the lighting in the studio. Since she's into red... No, don't do it now. Don't do it now. Since she's into red, maybe we need to have a red glow in the studio. $400,000 video poker jackpot hits in downtown Las Vegas has been getting all the winners. On Wednesday, a man playing a video poker at the Circa in downtown Las Vegas chose to hold 1 ace on the hand of triple-double bonus poker. It was a decision that earned him a jackpot. The man, who only wanted to be identified as Robbie, was not shy with his play as he was betting a $500 hand. And in return, where's the play? Wait. According to the photographs, Robbie had the machine had just over $1,800 in the machine when it hit. So I don't know. He had only hit for $400,000. Now, he bet $500. So I love these stories. This is the first one where I can kind of understand. You're betting $500, you're getting $400,000 back. The ones that always kill me is when you're playing on penny slots, you put 5 cents in and you win $1 million.
Where's my money?
Absolutely. Which, by the way, always, I always wonder how much money people have put in over the years before they won the jackpot. So you can tell me he bet $500. Last week, I think, Mr. Producer, we had somebody for $2.88 that won a big jackpot. How much money did they really put into these machines over the years? That's what I want to know. Frank says, I will help him with the effects, pull out the monster mash. There you go. That's a good one. Actually, without fear of getting kicked off the air, I love the Munsters. And the reboot, I can't wait to watch that. All right, grasshoppers. If you remember the 10 plagues, one of them was locusts. Well, the grasshoppers, we had a huge invasion of grasshoppers a couple of years ago. Well, guess what? They're back. My wife, who is an assistant principal up at a school in the Providence area, you can't walk without crunching up there. There's sidewalks, the buildings, the parking lots. Now, I'm going to knock on wood over here because over at the school I work at, in my house, we have not had none of that. And maybe they're staying up that way because they're closer to the mountains where they can stay. Sorry, honey. So be on the lookout for grasshoppers. What was it? Was it Pat Morita in the original Karate Kid, where he says that, right? That's where you get the word grasshopper. You are my grasshopper. Follow along, grasshopper. Formula One is having a launch party set for this November for their big race next year, rather. The party will be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on November 5th at Caesars Palace, giving fans a taste of what to come in 2023. So if you want to check that out, do so. As Lake Mead keeps going under, or not going under, drying up, record low lake levels reveal rocks that have not been seen since the 1930s. Not just bodies in barrels or boats. I want to know how that war boat got into the lake a couple of weeks ago that was found. The study found that ash from volcanoes in Idaho, Wyoming, and California rained down on southern Nevada as many as 12 million years ago and became part of the rocks, which haven't been seen on Lake Mead's shoreline since the 1930s. So be careful when you go out there. Don't be an ash. Anyway, sorry. Yes, I know. Even my guest, Ms. Murder, she's shaking her head saying, what did I agree to come into here? Okay, just in time for Christmas for all your shoppers. A lot of people love the Nordstrom Rack store. Well, guess what? There's one coming now to the west side of town. Rainbow and, Rainbow and Alta, I believe. The Nordstrom Rack store will be opening up. Best of the West Shopping Center. 31,000 square foot Best of the West store will open. Well, I guess you'll have to wait to shop there for next year because it's opening in the spring of 2023. Henderson's breaking ground on a new park, which is great. It's the city's first community park. It's going to be done in 2 waves. It's a 3.5-acre property located near Major Avenue and Boulder Highway. I would give you more details on that, but I'm up against and I'm past my break. So check that out down in Henderson. Some more good stuff going on down there to help the families enjoy where they live. With that, we're going to step aside for our first break. We're running a little behind, but that's okay. Ms. Murder will forgive me no matter what. Or will she? When we come back, we'll find out if I'm here or not. You're watching Aaron's Hour. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Studios, a unique unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, which is a good thing because that's my name. If it wasn't my name, the title of the show would be really stupid. Anyway, thank you for listening and joining us. Sitting to my right, she hasn't killed me during the break. We've turned some of our lights on red for her. Overhead, you can see the French fry lights are red. The studio used to get redder. Maybe because you got that nice big white light. Mercedes M. Yardley joins me. Miss Murder. All things darling. We just coined that.
Just right now.
Literally, when we were sitting before the show, she answered one of my posts, or someone was out there and she responded to someone and she put all things dark. Well, I think your reply was a little longer than that, and I loved that ending. That I think now she's got to market all things darling because why? That's connected in the books, right?
Correct. Yes.
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 I'm good she didn't murder me after our boxing workout.
Oh gosh.
Although I don't think your arms would have worked very well.
I could have tried. Yeah, we could have
Been like T-Rexes, right? In honor of the dinosaur ball.
Well, this is the first time I've seen Aaron without boxing gloves.
That is
so,
true.
I mean,
That is
I
true.
didn't know you had hands.
That's very true. Usually they're club-like. That's very true.
Right.
Some will say they're clubs now. But anyway, nice to have. Listen, we only met literally 2 weeks ago. I told the story before, and yet, correct me if I'm wrong. And we spoke that day. We've been speaking through messaging to set up your appearance today. Mm-hmm. But is it me or do I feel that we've kind of known each other maybe longer, like we've
simpatico,
we've been friends forever.
Yeah, this feels really natural. It's not.
And she comes up to the panel, and we were talking about some of the crazy ghost stuff that goes on in this studio. And she says, "That's okay. I bring all that with me." So that's why we're in sync. How many different lives do you think you bring with you?
I don't know.
Oh wait. Speaking of which, I know who this is. Listen, no show would be complete without my buddy Richie in Minnesota checking in. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Listen, that good-looking woman sitting next to you, I just have to say this. I went on to Amazon. I looked up her book. Of course, I'm a friend of hers already. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, you were on it pretty quickly,
she gets
dude.
Like 5.5 stars.
Well, what else?
Seriously,
Listen.
she is that hot an author. So the book's on order, but I'm going to get an extra copy by going to her personally and saying, "Honey, I need you to autograph one to Richie because I'm going to spread the word." So I stay the heck out of trouble. I don't want to be doomed. Smell your hair and die.
Yeah, you don't want Miss Murder to come after you, Richie. Well, Richie...
She looks good. Now, this woman is fit. I can tell.
Listen.
I can always tell because I look at their neckline, and she literally she's doing something right, just like you, Aaron. So.
Oh, no. Don't put me... No. Don't dishonor her by putting her in my category.
No, he CrossFits.
Yeah, I CrossFit. That and $5 still only gets me coffee at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying?
All righty. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to listen mostly. And, I've got about 3 football games on in the background.
I know.
My wife's giving me up to what's going on with Michigan. And
Are you
Minnesota,
recording?
blah, blah,
Are you
blah.
recording them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I also have 3 screens up. I watch 3 screens every Saturday when it gets to be college football.
You do. You're a big supporter of college football and a big supporter of Aaron's Hour and the shows that I do. I love you, brother.
Aaron's Hour. How could I miss it? I missed it last week. Even my granddaughters are coming today. But I said, granddaughters, do not bother me when I am watching Aaron's Hour live, though I go back and watch it a number of times, and I watch the wrestling show, too.
Yes,
after the fact, which many of us need to do.
Well, they're on Roku now. Did you hear that before? Did you hear that secret?
I heard that.
You heard that?
My gosh, the guy is everywhere. Vegas Live is everywhere. And listen, I wanted just to shout out to your producer. He is so tight with you. He anticipates what you're going to do. You said your little swear word. He hit the beep button after just to say, we recognize he said something, but remember, we don't have to worry about it. The FCC is not monitoring us yet.
Right, that is very true, but I got to tell
you.
All right, you guys have fun. I'm going to listen.
Thank you, Richie.
Talk.
Thank you, brother.
Bye-bye.
So it's a little funny story about the delay button because he has no idea what we're going to say. So when a word comes out, and we are not regulated by the FCC, and let's hope that never happens. You'll hear the delay button like 7 seconds after us, and so we joke about our delay button has a delay button.
Oh, right.
So
Super delayed. Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get started because we've just been having so much fun. Richie's a great guy. As soon as I put the
sounds like a
promo
great
post
guy.
up for Minnesota, as soon as I put the promo post up, right? He's the first message I got within minutes, and he puts a whole thing in there about he's going to listen, and he's in. So thank you, Rich. And so he's right on it. So. Oh, Patrick in Facebook. We haven't even asked a question, so it's possible. Patrick would like to know if you've ever met Miss Elvira.
Oh, I would love to. No, she was at a con that I was going to go to, and I ended up not being able to go, but I want to. She is so beautiful and so wonderful from what I hear.
And you know she's in the new Munsters movie, the
Oh, is
remake.
she? No,
not
I
as
didn't know
not
that.
as Elvira. The real person is in there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
so Rob Zombie's got her in there. Mr. Producer, I'm looking at my phone and I'm seeing buffering happening on the video feed. So I just want to make sure all is okay over there. Okay, just wanted to ask. Okay, so let's talk about you write horror.
Yes.
How were you instilled into writing horror? Did you love horror growing up? Give me some background on that.
Yeah, well, what's funny is I come from a very religious background, a very religious small town in Utah, and I was always really into horror. I always wrote scary stories. Watched Poltergeist, which, by the way, is the 40th anniversary of Poltergeist.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, I went to a showing on Wednesday. They had like a one-night showing of the movie in the theater, and I went to that with like 5 other people in the whole theater, and it was amazing to see it on the big screen because, fortunately, I was like 3 when it came out, so my parents didn't take me.
Great. I just aged myself.
Oh, you
Great.
saw it on the big screen like 6 times? Is that what you're saying?
No, I barely got through it once. Those freaky things. I never touched snow on a TV since then.
Okay, my cousin made me, so I'm naturally a blonde, you can't tell, but I was a blonde little girl growing up, and my name was Mercedes Ann, and my cousin would make me sit against the screen and put my hands on it, and he'd be like, Sadie Ann, call them. And I would be like, oh God, please don't let anything come, because I know if I call them, they will. But I mean, what a terrible cousin, right? He was my older cousin.
Is he still around, or did Ms.
Oh, yeah,
Murder
he's
take
the
care?
worst.
Oh, he is. Okay.
He's the worst, and he knows it.
They're here.
They're back.
702-329-6947, 1-855-502-4321. Press 1 in either phone number. Come into the studio and ask your question. So talk about it again. Let's go back. Let's talk about how you got rooted into writing horror. What's the background on it?
I like it. I like the dark. I like the scary. I like it's a bonding experience. It's a trauma experience. And so we were talking a little bit about the show about Ted Bundy.
Yep.
And I'm kind of from Bundy land a little bit. One of my teachers, her best friend, was murdered by Bundy. My father's friend was one of the ones that found the body.
Jeez.
Kind of everywhere we moved, he was there. My husband bought my engagement ring in the mall where the last victim was kidnapped.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
And was escaped and was actually the one that got him, testified against him and stuff. But just kind of all these scary things happen in this area where I'm from.
Sure.
I'm also from a small town that had a huge mine fire, and it killed a mine fire that killed I think 27 people when I was about 5 or 6.
Okay.
And so it's this small town where everyone knows everybody, and half our population died.
Well, you're up in Utah,
Yeah.
and of course Salt Lake is the big city that everybody knows. But
Yes.
I know limestone usually is big for spirits to draw them out. Is salt a conductor to bring stuff out?
Salt is supposed to be a purifier.
Okay.
But I'm from the desert
Oh, gotcha.
in eastern Utah, which is very primitive and old and ancient, and not Salt Lake Happy Valley.
Gotcha.
Very different feel. There's something just old there.
We got the Mormon Tabernacle Church there, right? The Mormon Church is in the heart of downtown, right?
Up in Salt Lake.
Right, up in Salt Lake, correct.
Mhm. I am 4 hours away.
Oh, you're that far away.
We're miners.
Gotcha.
We're little, digging the dirt, very blue collar, very on our own, very separate from the rest of Utah.
Gotcha.
Like, I grew up in the desert. Look up the San Rafael Swell, Rafael. That's where I'm from. It's gorgeous desert, mesas, just really, that's where I'm from.
Wow.
Really
Crazy.
different.
So you found horror on your own.
Yes.
So none of your family, siblings, they were not into it. They just that kind of took you down that path.
My dad, maybe, because I read his. I remember he checked it out of the library when it came out. So I remember being 8 years old and reading it in the chair at night because I couldn't sleep. So Stephen King's It. So maybe my dad, and he, but not too much.
Yeah.
A little bit for
Little
my
bit.
dad.
Gotcha.
Like he'll read my books and he said like, oh, that one was really scary. There was a higher body count than I expected, but I love you, kiddo, you know? So that's my dad. And my mom, who's a librarian, will not read my books or buy them for the library. I'm not bitter, you know?
No, that's not bitter. From Twitter, JSN at Uncle Abed says, if Netflix did a Ted Bundy series as graphic as the Dahmer one, there would be chaos in the streets.
I didn't find the Dahmer series that graphic, honestly.
Okay.
They moved away from, like when they did the photographs, they moved away from that.
Okay.
I think if they do a Ted Bundy series, I think it would be useful because I think when they talk about Bundy, it's all about Bundy. It's not about his victims.
Gotcha.
And I feel like the Dahmer series, I felt more for the victims because I'd seen them portrayed maybe more accurately, and it wasn't just Dahmer, it was his victims. And I think that's important because the victims are the ones that get forgotten.
Sure. No, absolutely. You're right on with that. We always think about the main character is always the bad guy in that stuff, and we forget about the others.
And what I love about Dahmer is it's very clinical. Like, you watch it, and they're not romanticizing him at all. They're not like, oh, look at this, sensual serial killer. It's this really awkward guy that they're just kind of following. And I think it's very well done. I wish the victims' families had been, I hear that they weren't, like, asked about it or...
Okay, they weren't involved in it?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's painful for them to have this come up without them being involved. I wish that would happen, but I think Dahmer's a great series.
No, that's okay. I read it. I was going to read it, but that's okay. That's all right. No, let it go. My producer tries to kind of get the Twitter messages that are more pertinent to what we're talking about. And one came through that I would have read, but I'm glad I didn't because you talk about graphic, visual. Anyway, by the way, while I have Ms. Murder here, I have a family 4-pack ticket, a family 4-pack of tickets to Unicon, November 4, 5, and 6 down at the World Market Center. Now, we've been asking trivia questions. Prior to the trivia question I'm going to ask is in direct relation to something we talked about before we went on the air. There's one show that you'd never watched an episode of, and that was what that we talked about.
Oh, can I say it?
Yeah.
MASH.
MASH. Okay? So she can't answer the question because she's never seen one episode. So here's your question. The original movie that the show is based on had an actor portray a character that in the TV series was the same person playing the same character. Who was it? Who was the actor who played who was the same actor that played the same character in the movie and the TV series on MASH? First caller with the correct answer will get a family 4-pack to Unicon. 702-329-6947. And even if you want to win, by the way, no answers in the chat room, no answers in Twitter. It has to be a call-in response, okay? So if you are out of the area, but you know somebody in Vegas who would like the tickets, that's okay. Call in and win. We can always set them up with the family 4-pack, okay? Who was the actor that played a character in the movie that played the same character in the TV series? Okay? So that I came up with that one because you're such a huge MASH fan.
That was brilliant. Yeah. Well, I love the theme song.
The theme song is dark, and it does have words to it, which you really never hear. I think there was one episode early on where they had somebody do, what's that? The premiere episode where they actually had the words to the song before they just made it the instrumental.
Yeah.
So which was the first book that you have 5 books. Which was the first one?
The first one that came out was, I'm trying to think.
No.
Beautiful Sorrows, which is a short story collection.
Okay.
And it was very sweet. It's a girl, the cover is a girl drawing chalk pictures in the desert.
Okay,
and
of course.
Yeah, right. And then I think Pretty Little Dead Girls came out next, which the desert actually is the villain of the story.
There we go. We have a picture of it on screen now.
Yeah, I love that one. That's my favorite. I'm adapting that into a graphic novel, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first volume will be done, like, next month.
There you go. Well, when it hits, you got to give me the news so we can announce it.
I will. Thank you. And
so that was the first. So that's short stories combined. Is that what you're saying?
Beautiful Sorrows.
Right.
Beautiful Sorrows. This is a fairy tale with a high body count, is what this is. It's very charming.
How charming can it be when you have a high body count?
Oh, so charming. Have you not met me, sir?
I've learned. After this, I don't know how much closer I want to get to you in kickboxing. Oops, sorry, meant a roundhouse right on the bag. Sorry, Aaron, I got in the head over there.
You remember what you said on the show.
So, all right, so you got that one. Now, you wrote 5, as we talked about.
Yes.
So are they all sort of, are they intertwined together somehow?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
So
What's the next one?
So then there's Nameless, The Darkness Comes, which is the first in a series that I'm working on the other 2 series, but I like to bounce around. I don't do things linear. And then this one, Apocalyptic, Montessa, and Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love.
Let me hold that so we can get
Yes.
hopefully a shot. Oh, wait, we have it on. We have.
Oh.
Is that one of the pictures that we have there, Mr.? Okay, here we go.
Anyway, that one is for you, sir. I will
This one's for
autograph
me?
it later. Yes.
Oh, you did? Oh, sweet.
Yes,
Thank you.
I will autograph it afterward.
There you go. Oh, all right. I
That's
love
one of-
autograph books.
That's one of my favorites. That's paranormal, which is kind of some stuff that we were talking
Yeah.
about a little bit. It's a Romeo and Juliet love story with serial killers. And the characters in this book show up very briefly in an aside in a longer story I have called Love is a Crematorium.
Okay.
They have like a little cameo. I have my characters cameo quite a bit. And the detective in Pretty Little Dead Girls shows up in my new book, Darling. This is kind of a little bit of his origin story.
Okay, we have a picture of that one. I know that.
Yes.
There we go. I see it coming up. There we are.
Yes, there we go. There I am holding it over my desk because I don't have anywhere in my house to take pictures except over my desk. It's lovely.
I'm
That's
glad
where
you
I
didn't
live.
say we took the picture over a dead body because I heard the
Well-
D starting to come out. I'm like, oh, crap.
I can't say that aloud now, can I?
I wouldn't want to know whose dead body it is.
I'll just say that's a very meaningful area where I took that picture.
I'm sure it is. Is that where all the great stuff comes from, that shot there?
Some of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long in the book, when did the first book come out?
Oh boy, the first book came out, I want to say about 12 years ago, 10 years ago,
Okay.
something like that.
And so the spacing of the 5 books, how often have you been getting them out?
Randomly. The first 3 came out like all at the same time. And
Okay.
then Darling actually wrote 7 years ago and it took a while to come out. And meanwhile, I've had 100 short stories come out.
Okay.
I do art magazine articles. I'm writing constantly. but
Thank
as
you,
for the
Postal Dude.
novels-
So Postal Dude says, I just need a good thing for Halloween. Well, keep listening. You may get one here.
Yes.
So the author I had on a couple of weeks ago, I asked about how you just kind of, how does it get turned on that you can just sit down and write? Because I don't, listen, I wrote a book, which I talked to you
Right,
about,
yeah.
but I had a ghostwriter. Basic ghost, how apropos. Yeah, really, I was
Right.
just, how apropos. Thank you. So ghostwriters ask you the questions to pull stuff out.
Right.
And I'm so glad because if I had written my own book, it would have been a comic book, 2 pages long with stick figures as pictures.
I
That-
still think that's divine. I would read that.
Sure. So for me, the writing that I do is commercials and things like that, but I have to get inspired. Like if I get a client today that says, yes, I want to do it, I don't go home and sit down. I have to let it burn and churn, and I think about the product. I go on the website, and then it could be the day before I need to record it. When all of a sudden it hits, and all of a sudden, okay, boom, 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 and it's done. What's your process? I mean, obviously you said you wrote the 3 relatively quickly, but what's your process? How do you start writing? Where do you get the objects? Where's your topics come from? And then how soon after all that do you start putting your fingers on the keyboard?
I have 3 kids, which makes it hard. And
Very little time.
My oldest has autism and Williams syndrome,
Okay.
so
Lot of
a
time.
lot of work. So I have to write in 15-minute increments.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have the luxury of writing for hours, so I have to sit down and I set an alarm for 15 minutes. I don't allow myself to edit.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to write about this. Bzzz, and when that alarm's done, I have to go back to real
Sure.
life.
Sure.
So that creativity is forced.
Okay.
It has to be during that time, and that desperation makes it bubble. to the
Gotcha.
top. So I'll think about it like while I'm doing dishes or whatever, and
Right.
then sit down and be like, and that's what works for me. I would love to have like 3 hours to sit and write, but it
Do
doesn't
you write
work.
at night at all? Like after your kids are in
I
bed?
try. I
Okay.
sleep on average about 3 hours a night,
Wow.
and then take like a nap
During the day,
like
yes.
an old woman for at least an hour.
No, we
because
actually did a show on Thursday on the round table about the importance of sleeping,
Yeah,
and
I-
naps were very important.
I saw that. And my husband's like, "You're not even going to listen to that, are you?" And I'm like, "Why? Why shame myself?"
Jennifer McCord out in Hawaii, my good friend, says Stephen King is her favorite author, but that may change, Jennifer, if you buy her books. Do you like his writing and books, Stephen King?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on King.
Right, you said the It book before,
Yeah,
right?
I like his old. I hear fairy tales supposed to be just amazing. I feel like he's at the point where nobody ever tells him no. So a lot of his newer stuff I don't like as much. I really like his son Joe Hill. If you like King, you'll like Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jaws was the first movie for me that was a horror movie, and I never went back in the ocean.
Oh,
Honest to God.
Jaws?
Jaws. No, seriously. And I read the book, and I went to see the movie.
Yeah.
And where I lived in New Jersey, you go down the shore. So we would go like almost every other week. Really?
I mean, I love sharks, so
Well,
love them.
so we used to go down the shore every other week. And after that, I just couldn't go in the ocean. I was still am today. I'm always looking out. That's why I go to lakes, because I don't have to worry
Right?
about it out there.
The sharks will be littler there.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They're still lurking.
Now, if I
Lake
want to get
sharks.
that scared, since I don't worry about that anymore, I just look at my bank account. That pretty much scares the crap out of me. Okay, before we go to break, I'm going to throw some curveballs at you.
Okay.
Favorite actor of all time?
Does David Bowie act? Sure.
Who?
David Bowie.
Oh, David Bowie. Oh, but he didn't act a ton, though, did
Not
he?
a ton, but I love him.
Okay. Who's your favorite actress?
Oh, I don't know if I have one.
All right, we'll come back to that one.
I like, what? Anna Joy Taylor? Is that her name? I like her.
I don't know. I'll trust you. Favorite all-time movie, so that when it comes on your screen, whether it's streaming or otherwise, you pop your favorite popcorn, grab your favorite adult beverage, your husband, kids, whatever, and you sit down to watch this movie is?
Labyrinth with David Bowie.
There. Favorite music genre?
I really like dubstep. Isn't that awful?
You like what?
Dubstep.
What is that?
It's like the filthier the beats, the filthier the drops, the happier I am.
Who? EDM. Oh, okay. EDM, Electric Daisy, okay.
But hard, filthy, not gentle dubstep.
I'm learning a different side of you, lady. What time are you going to class on Monday? I'm going to go to a different class. Anyway,
8:15 and you'll be there.
Monday, what am I doing? Actually, I have to work Monday because I got to take Wednesday off for the Jewish
Oh,
holiday,
how
by the way.
convenient.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I worked it out that way in advance. Favorite all-time song, so that you're driving in your car, you hear it come on the radio, you crank it up, you're at a red light, people are wondering what the hell is going on in your car while you're trying to sing. That song is what?
Sail by AWOL Nation.
Okay.
And I went to them in concert and they were amazing.
On that note, we're going to step aside for a second break of the show because when we come back, we still have a lot to cover about the rest of our books, where to find it, and all that good stuff. You're watching Aaron's Hour with Ms. Murder. I like saying that now, Ms. Murder. We got to get you a shirt, Ms. Murder. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
Hey, welcome back. Aaron's Hour. Finally, one of my first guests in studio is actually dancing to my music. Usually I dance too, but we're chatting off to the side. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so we have only 15 minutes left. It's crazy. If you have a question for Mercedes, 702-329-6947. By the way, special shout out to everybody who's listening on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. I appreciate it. Also, thoughts going out to everybody in Florida and South Carolina, but especially Florida, that Fort Myers area. My God, the pictures in this. Hopefully, it won't take long for life to get back to normal there, but the devastation is, somebody, 150 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 190. Those numbers are just unfathomable to think about for wind and the destruction. And anyway, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in Florida and anybody who is affected by even the side winds and everything else. So we're thoughts and prayers with you. By the way, with that, if you want to help those folks, and I learned this yesterday, Kiwanis International Foundation is taking their donations as well. 100% of all proceeds donated through Kiwanis is going to the relief effort. Another option, if you support Red Cross, you can make donations there as well, as we know that they also support. So if you can't be there, but you want to help, $5, $1, whatever it is, they do add up. Help our friends and family, whether you know them or not, down in Florida. Okay, let's get back to the book. So we're talking about how you write, 15 minutes, which I find amazing, and God bless you for, and I say this humbly, with the children, is it just one child that you have that has autism? And
Yeah, he's a dual diagnosis, autism and Williams syndrome, and the other two are typical.
Okay.
Neurotypical.
Typical.
Neurotypical children.
But I listen, the school I work at has autistic children in it, in their classes. My wife was a special ed teacher for all the time that I've known her.
Yeah, so you know.
I know. And so that's why I say to you, I can understand why it's 15-minute increments, but doing what you do as a mom and your husband to support your child that has to deal with this, and you as the caregiver and needing your respite as well. My heart goes out to you, and I know there's other families out there. And since we do live close to each other, and I say this with all sincerity, if ever you need something,
Thank you.
don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because
I know you do. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, let's get back to the books, because my wife would kill me if I didn't offer that. No, I'm only kidding. So let's get back to the books. So we talked about Darling, right?
Yes.
So what was after that one?
This is my
Oh,
last.
that's the last one.
This
So
is the one that came out.
What
about
are the
2
other
weeks
ones in
ago.
between? We only talked about 3, unless I was asleep
Okay, so
during
there's
the interview.
Apocalyptic, Montessa, Nuclear Lulu. There's Nameless, The Darkness Comes. There's Detritus in Love, which I co-wrote with John Bowden.
Okay.
There's Beautiful
Arterial Bloom?
Sorrows. Oh, Arterial Bloom. Yes, I edited that, and I did the watercolors in that.
Oh, it's a
So,
beautiful cover, except for
thank
that
you.
grizzly face that's at the top
My
there.
friend Todd Kiesling did that cover art for me.
Nice.
And
But those are great colors, though. I love the way it stands out.
Yeah, he did that. He usually does very masculine work, and I was like, well, I don't know.
Soften
I
it
don't know.
up.
And he did this, and it's wonderful. So I have that as a tote bag that I carry around.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I love it so
But
much.
you don't have it with you, though.
Not
Didn't
not
see it
today.
come out of the tote.
No,
That's got the tools of the
I
trade
usually
in there.
I keep my church stuff in it, honestly. So I bring it to church.
I'm sorry. I find irony in that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing. The irony of going to church with a tote bag with this gruesome face on it.
And I work with the youth in church. Yep.
By the way, I saw that family 4-pack of tickets. Holy cow. What was my question? Oh, the same actor played a character in MASH, the movie, the original movie. That same actor played the same character in the TV series. Who was it? And for extra bonus points, what was the character? But tell me either one of them and you'll win. 702-329-6947. Call in, even if you're not in the area, but you know somebody in Vegas, like a mom who has kids that would probably
you
love
know me.
Unicon, would be tremendous. So give me a call. You have about 12 minutes left in the show. Press the number 1 when you call in.
Google is your friend. Okay? Google is your friend.
I wouldn't know what question to type in to actually get that answer. I suppose if you asked the way I did, you might find it.
Same actor, movie, and series MASH.
Yeah, but that's true. Don't use Google. Use your brain.
Use your brain, but if you've never seen it, like, I don't know, someone pretty spectacular.
I think the answer, when I give and I've actually used this question over the years multiple times, and I think the answer will actually surprise people. I'll just put it that way.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what, I'll give a hint. It was not one of the main characters. It was not Hawkeye. It was not Trapper. So you can look past those characters for a possible answer, okay? All right, so 5 books, and thank you for this. I will actually read it because now I'm intrigued by it. If I come in shaking the next time I see you.
It's a little bit shorter, so it's a novella. It's not as long. I know
So it
you're
won't take me as
super
long.
pressed for time. I know you have a lot on your plate.
I don't
so-
want to tell you where I read, okay? We'll just
Okay,
leave it at that. Like most people, most men will read there too. So what's next?
Now I am.
You talk about screenplays and stuff before?
Yes, I am working on turning this into a screenplay.
Okay.
So that's my next goal. I'm working on a sequel to The Nameless, The Darkness Comes. This is kind of, I have a book that I've already written that's being shopped around that's also small town horror, which is what this is. This also features my son.
Okay.
and my daughter. So there's a child with his
I was
disability.
going to say,
in
so
here.
obviously names have been changed to
Names
protect.
have been changed. Situations have been changed. This is
Okay.
about children that turn up dead in this like evil little town. My children are fine. I just want that to be clear. But they are based on my son. So if you're looking
Gotcha.
for a book with an accurate portrayal of a child with autism, this is one to read.
You know, if I had known that when we talked previously, my school supports autism programs at the school, and they
Oh,
sell
excellent.
shirts.
Oh, excellent.
And I have an autism shirt, support autism and all that stuff from my
Oh.
school. I would have worn that had I known. But that's okay next
Well,
time.
you didn't. I keep my secrets.
That's true. That is very true. You are right about that. Because if she tells him, she has to kill you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a lot of work on my part.
okay, contact information. Now we know Richie's looked you up on Amazon,
Yes.
but let's give it. I know your website. You're on Facebook. Let's
Yes.
give every which way come Sunday how people can find you in your books.
My website is mercedesmyardley.com. I'm at Mercedes MY on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Mercedes Murdoch Yardley. I'm on
keep going.
Instagram at Mercedes MY.
You're on Facebook, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And the book is available on Amazon. If somebody wants a
Yes.
hard copy, can they get hard copies or everything
Well-
just sold strictly through Amazon?
No, a hard
To
copy
autograph,
like
I
this.
mean. I mean like to
Yeah.
autograph.
Oh yeah, for me, you can call me. You can or
Message
email
you.
me, message me,
Okay.
mercedesyardley@gmail, and I will send you an autographed copy. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them from my publisher. Go to my site, and we'll tell you how to get them.
There you go. I have the same deal. So if you get scared to death, then you can read my book on how to live better. Anyway,
Yeah.
on Twitter, I'm going to say Save Loves Coco, Halloween movie suggestions.
Ooh, always Poltergeist. So I just watched it, right? And I'm going to be watching the second and the third. So I'm going to
my
watch the
God.
second today and the third tomorrow. So I think we should all watch them together. Not the new Poltergeist. That is lame. You want the old one from the 1980s.
Do you like, for Halloween, you must decorate the house and all that stuff?
All year
Do you still
round.
get kids?
Oh, yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
A lot of neighborhoods don't get kids anymore.
They kind of know to come to my house.
Oh.
I also do the teal pumpkin thing where
Oh,
I have
gotcha.
it completely separate for kids that have allergies, so they can come get stickers. And
Gotcha. So they can get non-food stuff. That's cool.
things. So they come to my house, yeah. But we have a skeleton up all year. We have several skeletons all year round, and I paint skeletons, so they're hanging on the walls and
And apparently a lot of skeletons in the closet. Anyway.
bada boom.
That's, I know. All right, so I hope that helped. Yes, thank you for asking. We appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for messaging in. We're trying to get to all the messages on Twitter. My producer tries to, Alex, I just see on the preview screen, she just asked the same question, what Halloween movie should I watch tonight? Alex, the answer was the Poltergeist series, the original Poltergeist, not
Yes.
the new one that has come out. The one you want with Craig T. Nelson in it.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Before he became coach, which Richie would love because he's in Minnesota. Okay, I don't know where my brain goes all the time. Favorite vacation spot that you haven't been to yet?
Ooh, that I haven't been.
Yes.
Brazil.
Okay. Favorite meal, top to bottom, starting with an appetizer.
Oh gosh, I like soup. So I was.
What's your favorite soup?
I make a really good chicken noodle.
The
soup.
chicken noodle,
Yeah,
basic-
chicken-
okay.
Yeah, for sick people, I make a really good one.
Jewish
that-
penicillin.
And then I like my mom's beef stroganoff.
Okay.
And then I really like a creme brulee.
Okay.
And lots of Coke Zero. So
All
much
right.
Coke Zero.
There you go. Jennifer McCord out in Hawaii says, are you familiar with the movie Deranged?
No,
She says it is so scary.
I will watch it. I
Who's
will
it?
find
Jennifer, who's in that one? Or actually, maybe Aaron can look it up real quickly. I just thought Jennifer was talking about the host of the show. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
what she was
I was
referring
too. I was being kind.
to. I asked you about that. I asked you about that. Okay. Next question, though. If you need a hint to get the answer right, I will give it to you. Thank you, Patrick. Who's your favorite superhero?
Oh, I hate superheroes. Batman, if I had to choose.
Good answer. Good answer. New movie called Pearl coming out. Who's that for? What is that?
Is it?
Oh, it's a new scary movie. Are you familiar with that one?
Is it the book by Josh Malerman?
I just read the teleprompter, whatever my producer
I
puts
don't know
up there.
about Pearl. I know about Josh Malerman's book. He's
Who's-
the one.
yeah.
He's the one that wrote Bird Box.
Okay, so we'll just say yes, it probably is. Or it could be written by the Oyster family. I don't know. Okay, See, I come up with the stupid
Right?
questions.
It's
Okay.
like herding cats, you.
I am almost. Don't give me a red light, folks. I always tell my guests when you come on the show, you just better put your seatbelt on because I don't know where I'm driving the car, but I'll get there.
Yeah, I
Maybe a
believe
few
you.
off ramps
Like I said, I'll roll with it.
under construction.
Welcome to Vegas.
If a movie was made about you, who would you like to see starring as you in the movie?
Oh boy, probably Zoe Deschanel, but she'd have to be very much more serious.
Zoe. Yeah, that's all right. I liked her sister in Bones. I watched
Yeah.
Bones. That was it. What is he putting up behind me? Did we lose? He's putting something up behind me on the. Look at the screens, dude.
Says no signal.
And then this one over here. No, that's why I thought you were doing something and putting something up. This is the crazy stuff that goes on in the studio because all the
Right.
remotes for these are sitting over there.
Okay.
And there's no way these could change without the remotes. So,
Well-
ladies and gentlemen, you just experienced Poltergeist in this studio as we speak to Ms. Murder.
Like I said, I bring it with me. Sorry.
Oh, my God. Poor Thing Goose on Twitter at Poor Thing Goose. Happy Halloween month. Well, guess what? Wait a minute. No, it's that one over there. We've already experiencing spirits here in the studio. This is what happens. I told you about the EVP.
Yes.
One day, this studio has come a long way in development by Aaron, and I was sitting over there. This was between shows, and he was sitting at his desk, and he had a boom microphone arm on the floor there for when we had guests on the couch. So it was like, I don't know, 10 feet tall, reach down. So I'm sitting over there, and I'm looking down. I'm writing notes to prepare for my show. He's over there doing something, getting ready, and all of a sudden, you know, like when a bug or something goes by your eyes real fast, you see it go, right?
Right.
And it's like, okay. So I'm sitting there, and I tell you, I saw this black bug whiz by me. I thought nothing of it. Until 2 seconds later, the boom arm, you would thought we were in an earthquake. It was perfectly still, and then the boom arm started going like we were in an earthquake. And he sees it. I'm looking up. We look at each other. He says to me, "Did you do that?" I said, "Hell no." I said, "Did you do?" He says, "Hell no." And that's when we just kind of looked at each other, go, "Okay, let's go back to work."
All right. Yeah.
There is stuff in the studio. Okay, Jennifer says that movie that we talked about is based on the real serial killer Ed Gaines. I'm guessing I'm
Oh.
pronouncing that right.
Geen. I think
Gaines?
it's Geen.
Okay,
Geen.
because she put SP in parentheses, not. By the way, she's a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, that's
so we have to
awesome.
let her off the hook for spelling some of these words. You know, she's with kinder kids. You know, so.
Right. Who Buffalo Bill was based on in
Right.
Silence of the Lambs and
Right,
Ed
that's
Gein.
right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch.
No,
scary
I will
movies.
watch that. He was a fascinating twist.
Zombie Cupcake on Twitter. God bless you, Zombie. It is a great comment. At Zombie Cupcake 64, how many basic white people are going to be Jeffrey Dahmer now for Halloween? That's, you know, that's actually a great comment. Which is why when I get home from school, I turn my light off. I lock my front gate. I don't want anybody coming to my door. Actually, our community is gated, and we have kids in our community, but they don't come out. I don't even buy candy anymore. I get more candy for my classroom, where what I do. We get candy in there, and we have to follow certain rules with the candy because of
Right.
pandemic and
Right, right,
allergies
right.
and stuff. But I give out more candy in my classroom than I do on Halloween. It's
Oh,
crazy
there-
stuff. Okay, so who was your answer? Oh, Zoe Deschanel. See, I did remember. All right, last question for you. When the day comes that you're heading to the pearly gates, although with this stuff I'm not too sure, but we'll presume you will because of your son and what you've done for your son, no matter. That'll override everything. When you go to the pearly gates, the maitre d' is going to be standing there waiting for you, about to open the door. What is it you want to hear the maitre d' say to you as you walk through the pearly gates?
I made a mistake. Go to hell.
Mic drop. Wow, really? Is that what you think they would say? Really? Because-
No. Maybe.
Okay, not the answer I expected, ladies and gentlemen, but welcome to live shows. Yes, sir. That's right.
The
that's
movies
right.
are better there.
The movies are better there. Get a hell of a tan down there, too. So. And drink lots of water. All right, guess what? Our time is up.
That was so fast.
Can you give your information again, please, for everybody?
Yes, Mercedes M. Yardley at mercedesmyardley.com, Mercedes Yardley Gmail, at MY on Twitter and Instagram, and Mercedes M. Yardley, Murdoch Yardley on Facebook.
You know what they're going to say to me at the pearly gates? Go back and learn how to dance. That's what they're going to say. Anyway, thank you, Mercedes. It was a pleasure. No, seriously, it was a pleasure having you here.
you.
Miss Murder, all things darling. Watch for that to come out on the T-shirt somewhere soon. Thank you for watching, everybody. Next week, I have a singer coming in, Madison. She was due to come in a couple of weeks ago, but had some illness, but we're good to go for next week. She will be here debuting some music. Never heard before. That's what debut means. I'll have her here in studio for October 8th. As always, thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? Well, we have. Hey, if you're going to come down to the Dinosaur Ball tonight, make sure you stop by. I'll be the guy in the blinky black jacket. You won't miss me. Or you might want to miss me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week here on Aaron's Hour.